हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, Ramanand Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji. Actually, I was looking for the speaker on, but I got it. No problem. Okay, no problem. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So let's do some kirtan then. Are you ready, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
So we'll chant Hare Krishna mantra. Then after that, we'll read some pastimes from the book Acharya.
Yeah, sure.
Okay?
They have posted half an hour of kirtan.
As you like. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Dhiti Namine Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pashatya Deshatadine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisetan Sunyavadi Pashatya Deshatadine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Gopinda Ram Sri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Hey Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Govinda 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 Gopala 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Radha Madan Mohan Madan Mohan Jaya Radhe Jaya Sri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Prahlad Narasingha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jai Nithai Gaura Hari Bol Nithai Gaura Hari Bol Nithai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Jagad Srila Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Radha Madan Mohan Bhagavan Ki Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yenai Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langheti giri yat kripatamaham bande Sri Guru dinatarinam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are going to read some of the pastimes of Srila Prabhupada from this book called Acharya. It's still there, I think $50, $60. 2 more books if you wanted to buy. It's in our Sankirtan room. Oops, sorry. Let me first get the page. Last time we read something, so I will just go to. Okay, I think so. Okay. I am reading on Adi Lila. Srila Prabhupada. So after finishing our visit with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, I got some impression that here is a person who has taken Lord Chaitanya's message very seriously. Now it will be preached. My friend asked, what is your opinion? So I gave this opinion that he is wonderful and the message of Lord Chaitanya is in the hands of a very expert person and now it will be preached. So that was in 1922 because Prabhupada made first time to his spiritual master. So Srila Prabhupada later recalled on that very night he had actually accepted Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati as a spiritual master. Not officially, Prabhupada said, but in my heart I was thinking that I had made a very nice saintly person. That's why when you meet someone, then the Krishna Bhakti Udaya Hoye, then only you'll know that he is your spiritual master. So let me read some of the pastimes, okay? You can stop me if you have any comments or any further realization. After the first meeting with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Abhay began to associate more with the Gaudiya Math devotees. They gave him books and told him the history of their spiritual master. Abhay wanted to join the Gaudiya Math as one of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's disciples. But now, instead of his political inclinations, it was his family obligations that stood in the way. He was no longer thinking, first let us become an independent nation. That time India was ruled by British. That preach about Lord Chaitanya. Then preach about Lord Chaitanya. Now he was thinking, I cannot take part like the others. I have my family responsibilities. And the family was growing. In 1921, Abhay and his wife had their first child. Which year? 1921. He got the first child, a son. And there would be more children and more income would be needed. Earning money meant sacrificing time and energy, isn't it? And it meant, at least externally, being distracted from the mission of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Indian culture had the highest regard for the family institution. And divorce was unheard of. Even if a man was in a great financial difficulty, he would remain with his wife and children. Is it happening now? No. Although Abhay expressed regret at not being a sannyasi disciple in the Gaudiya Math, he never seriously considered leaving his young wife so early in their marriage. Gaur Mohan was pleased to hear of his son's attractions to a Vaishnava guru. But he never expected Abhay to abandon responsibilities and enter the renounced order. A Vaishnava could remain with wife and family, practice spiritual life at home, and even become active in preaching. Abhay would have to find ways to serve the mission of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati as a family man. Srila Prabhupada, then in 1923, I left Kolkata on business account and I started my business at Allahabad. Which year? 1923. So he was in 1922, he was in Calcutta. And 21 he had a first son. So, but I was always thinking of my Guru Maharaj. Although I was at that time not initiated, but the impression was there. I was thinking, I made a very nice saintly person. So in this way, I passed from 1923 to 28. So don't think if somebody comes to temple, if he has inclinations, you never know, after 5 years he will come back and take initiation. Isn't it? But he has to have a good impression. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was often traveling and Abhay was busy with his family and business. So to arrange another meeting was not possible. Yet from their first encounter, Abhay had considered Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati his spiritual master. And Abhay began thinking of him always. I met such a nice, saintly person. It so happened that both Motilal Nehru and his son Jawaharlal were customers at Prayag pharmacy. Nehru family was also customers of Srila Prabhupada. Since Jawaharlal always ordered Western medicines, Abhay thought he must have felt that Indian were inferior. It is thinking. Jawaharlal approached Abhay for a political contribution and he donated, being a conscientious merchant. Bhakti Pradeep Tirth Maharaj of the Gaudiya Math had come to Allahabad with a few men. One day he walked unannounced into the Prayag pharmacy and all of a sudden Abhay was seeing them again after so many years. Oh, these are the people I saw before, he thought. Gaudiya Math? Yes, come in. Bhakti Pradeep Tirth Swami was the same sannyasi who had visited Narendranath Mallik in Calcutta. A visit that had led to Abhay's going to visit Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Folding his palms in a humble gesture, standing before Abhay in simple saffron khadi robes, his shaven head with a tuft of sikha in the back, his forehead marked with Vaishnav tilak, Tirtha Maharaj said to Abhay, we are new here. We are going to establish a temple in Allahabad. We have heard your name, so we have come to you. Please help us. Abhay was joyful. Yes, I will help you. He contributed what money he could and then introduced Tirtha Maharaj to Dr. Ghosh, who also contributed money. Srila Prabhupada, this is the statement from Srila Prabhupada when he was talking to his disciple in 70s or something. Srila Prabhupada. So during Kumbh Mela in 1928, my Guru Maharaj along with other disciples came to Allahabad for starting their branch there. So some gentlemen known to me might have told them that the proprietor of such and such business, Prayag Pharmacy, he is a very nice gentleman. He can help you in so many ways. So they came to me and I saw the same saintly person whom I met in 1922. Which year he met? 1922 now. Which year we are? 1928. And 28 where he is? In Allahabad. Very good. You are attentive. Hari Guru Prabhu, are you listening? Okay. I was very glad to receive. In this way, my connection was more intimate with my Guru Maharaj. Although Abhay had received a ritual initiation at the age of 12 from a family priest, he had never taken it very seriously. Generally, most of us taken some diksha, those who are coming from family, Indian families, right? But who cares? Somebody gave something, then he forgot it very seriously. He had not received any instruction from his priest in bhakti, and he had not connected Abhay to Krishna through disciplic succession. By taking initiation from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he would be linked with Krishna. Bhaktisiddhanta, son of Bhakti Vinod Thakur and disciple of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, was the guru in the 12th disciplic generation from Lord Chaitanya. He was the foremost Vedic scholar of the age, the expert Vaishnava who could guide one back to Godhead. He was empowered by his predecessors to work for the highest welfare by giving everyone Krishna consciousness, the remedy for all sufferings. Usually, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta gave the first initiation, Harinam, and only after some time, when he was satisfied with the progress of the disciple, would he give the second initiation. In a formal ceremony in Allahabad in November 1933, which year? November 1933. He offered away both initiations at the same time. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta added Aravinda. So what is Prabhupada's name became? Abhay Charanaravinda. His name was Abhay Charan. Then it became Abhay Charanaravinda. So that's what you may be knowing his name, how it is Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami. So that remains same. To his name, and now he was Abhay Charana Arvinda. After the second initiation, Abhay was a Brahmana who could perform fire yajna for initiation, worship the deity in the temple, and preach the teachings of the Bhagavatam. So you get two initiation, double stroke at one time. So Gaudiya Math temple was started at a rented house on South Malakka Street near Rambagh, just a short walk from Abhay's house. Now it was possible for Abhay to visit every evening. After work, he would attend the Aarti, where he would play the mridanga, surprising the brahmacharis with the already developed mridanga playing skills. He sang bhajans with them and sometimes took the lead part in the congregational singing. He would also bring important persons from Allahabad to visit the math. For the brahmacharis, Abhay seemed to give new life to their ashram. And for Abhay, a new life had come to him in his active reunion with the disciples of the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. It was not possible for Abhay to travel with his spiritual master or even to see him often. His pharmaceutical business kept him busy and he traveled frequently. However, he tried to plan a business trip to Calcutta when his spiritual master was also there. Therefore, over the next 4 years, he managed to see his spiritual master perhaps a dozen times. Seeing his devoted activities, the sannyasis, knowing Abhay Charanavinda asked Bhakti Siddhanta if he could involve him more with the temple activities. No, leave him alone. He will accomplish great things in his own good time. So we don't disturb people. Do you? Leave him. They will accomplish things. But not all is Prabhupada. How he is saying. Shall we involve him in temple activities he is doing? What he said? Leave him alone. Great instruction. Sometimes Abhay would go to see his Guru Maharaj at the Chaitanya Math, the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya in Mayapur. So one day, the Chaitanya Math, Abhay was in the courtyard when a large poisonous snake crawled out in front of him. Big snake. Abhay called out to his Guru brothers, but when they came, everyone simply stood looking, uncertain what to do. So Bhakti Siddhanta came out on the veranda of the second floor, glanced down, saw the snake, and immediately ordered, kill it. Kill it immediately. A boy then took a large stick and killed the snake. Srila Prabhupada. So I thought, how is it that Guru Maharaj ordered the snake to be killed? I was a little surprised. But later on I saw this verse and then I was very glad. Modet sadhurapi vrischika sarpahatya. Even saintly persons take pleasure in the killing of a snake. You take pleasure in the killing of a snake. If you're killing, be happy. Don't feel bad. Killing of a scorpion or a snake. It had remained a doubt. How Guru Maharaj ordered the snake to be killed. But when I read this verse, I was very much pleased that this creature or creatures like the snakes should not be shown any mercy. So there are some creatures should not be shown any mercy. Like snakes and scorpion. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was reputed to be so austere and so strong in argument against other philosophies that even his own disciples were cautious in approaching him if he were sitting alone or if they had no specific business with him. Yet even though Abhay's contact with him was quite limited, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta would always treat him kindly. Srila Prabhupada, whenever I met my Guru Maharaj, he would always treat me very affectionately. Sometimes my god brothers would criticize because I would talk a little free with him. Thank you very much. I was a little thirsty also. Joy. And they would quote this English saying, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. But I would think, fool, well maybe, but that is the way I am. My Guru Maharaj was always very, very affectionate to me. What I offered obeisances, he used to return, Das was me. I am your servant. Sometimes Srila Bhakti Siddhanta paced back and for chanting the Hare Krishna mantra aloud while fingering his beads, Abhay would enter the room and also chant, walking alongside his spiritual master. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was known as the Singha, Lion Guru. One occasion, when he saw someone he knew to be a proponent of impersonalism, he would call that person over and challenge, "Why are you cheating the people with Mayavad philosophy?" He would often tell his disciples not to compromise. Why should he flatter? He would say, "You should speak the plain truth. Without any flattery, money will come anyway. Don't worry. You don't need to manipulate. Money will come. Krishna is supreme. If he wants to give, he will give. If he doesn't want to give, he won't. So by this way, I want to please this person like this, that person's like this." No. Krishna is the supreme. Krishna is the Bhagavan Swayam. Why should he flatter? He would say, "You should speak the plain truth without any flattery. Money will come anyway." Whenever Srila Bhaktisiddhanta wrote or spoke the Vaishnava philosophy, he was uncompromising. The conclusion was according to the Shastra and the logic strong. But sometimes Abhay would hear his spiritual master express the eternal teachings in a unique way that Abhay knew he would never forget. Don't try to see God, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta would say, but act in such a way that God sees you. One of Abhay's most significant meetings with his spiritual master took place in Radhakund, Vrindavan at his house. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, "When we were living in a rented house, we could collect 200 or 300 rupees. We were living very nicely at Ulta Danga. We were happier then. But since we have been given this marble palace in Bagh Bazaar, there is friction between our men. Who will occupy this room? Who will occupy that room? Who will be the proprietor of this room? Everyone is planning in different ways. It would be better to take this marble from the walls and secure money. If I could do this and print books, that would be better." Abhay felt his spiritual master speaking to him in urgency, as if asking him for help or warning him to avoid a disaster. But what could he do? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta then said directly to Abhay, "Amar ichha chila kichu bar karana." I had a desire to print some books. If you ever get money, print books. Abhay felt the words deeply enter his own life. If you ever get money, print books. There is no need of establishing many temples. Better we publish some books. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta departed from the mortal world in December 1936. So Prabhupada took initiation in 1933. Just after 3 years, he left this planet. 1 month before his departure, Abhay wrote him a letter asking if there was any particular service he can do for him. 2 weeks later, Abhay received a reply. "I am fully confident that you can explain in English our thoughts and arguments to the people who are not conversant with the languages of the other members. This will do much good to yourself as well as your audience. I have every hope that you can turn yourself into a very good English preacher. If you serve the mission to inculcate the noble impression of Lord Chaitanya's teachings in the people in general, as well as philosophers and religionists." Abhay started writing articles for the Harmonist, the magazine begun by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. It was in 1939 that Abhay wrote Introductions to Gita Upanishad. It was a short piece, but it signaled his intense streak on the task of translating the Bhagavad Gita into English with commentary. Noting Abhay's erudition and devotion, leading disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati conferred upon Abhay the title Bhakti Vedanta. In Sanskrit, Bhakti means devotion and Vedanta means the end of knowledge. Abhay was grateful for the title he received. The title combined the devotion of religion with the scholarship of the most rigorous philosophy as passed down by the scholarly followers of Lord Chaitanya. He appreciated the sincere gesture of his god brothers and accepted the title as a further commitment to his spiritual path of preaching Krishna consciousness. Abhay would think of engaging Mahatma Gandhi in devotional service. Because of his lifetime of courageous, ascetic and moral activities on behalf of his countrymen, Mahatma Gandhi had great power to influence the Indian masses. One Englishman had said of Mahatma Gandhi, "He is either a saint amongst the politicians or a politician amongst the saints." Very good, Mahatma Gandhi. What is it? Let me repeat it. One Englishman had said of Mahatma Gandhi, "He is either a saint amongst the politicians or a politician amongst the saints." But be that as it may, he was not as yet fully engaged in pure devotional service, and his activities were not those of a Mahatma as described in Bhagavad Gita. The Gita defines a Mahatma as one who fully engages in worshipping Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, always chanting his glories. The Mahatma encourages others to surrender to Krishna, but because as a young man, Abhay had been a follower of Gandhi's, Abhay had a special feeling for him. Of course, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had later convinced him to engage exclusively in devotional service. But now Abhay felt his old friendship for Gandhi, even though Gandhi was a towering figure of worldwide fame, and Abhay unknown both to Gandhi and to the world. On 7th December 1947, Abhay wrote a letter to Gandhi in New Delhi, addressing himself as an unknown friend. He wrote, "I tell you as a sincere friend that you must immediately retire from active politics if you do not desire to die in an inglorious death and engage in understanding and preaching Bhagavad Gita. Especially now as Gandhi was 78 years old, I will warn him that he should quit the political field and approach the absolute truth." Abhay never received a reply to his letter. 1 month later, in January 30, Gandhi met with his death. Right? The letter Gandhi received from Abhay read like a prophecy. Abhay considered starting up publications that would present the world's crisis through the eyes of the scriptures. In the same bold style as a spiritual master, there was no shortage of ideas, and he had been saving money from his business for his very purpose. From the front room of his apartment in Kolkata in 1944, Abhay conceived, wrote, edited, and typed manuscript for a magazine. He gave it the name Back to Godhead. Edited and founded under the direct order of his Divine Grace Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada by Mr. Abhay Charan Dey. Which year he did it? 1944. So we read how many years? 22 years. 1922 Prabhupada made his Guru. 1923, 28 he was, 23 he moved to Allahabad. Until 28 he again made Prabhupada. 33 he took initiation. 36 Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj left this planet. And 47 he wrote to Mahatma Gandhi. Again 44 in the meantime he published Back to Godhead. But when he went to buy paper, he made with government restrictions. Because of the war and the subsequent paper shortage, they wanted to essay what he had written in terms of the national needs. During this time of world crisis, an ordinary citizen's religious newspaper was hardly top priority. Abhay's request for paper was perfunctorily denied, but he persisted. He appealed that using paper to print the teachings of the Supreme Personal Godhead was not a waste, and not ultimately in the present troubled atmosphere. Finally obtained a permission to print his first edition of Back to Godhead, a 44-page publication. Abhay Charan greeted his readers by defining his motto, "Godhead is light, negligence is darkness." When man forgets that he is the Son of Godhead and identifies himself with the body, then he is in ignorance. He is like a man who is very concerned with the automobile's mechanism, yet with no knowledge of the driver. While Abhay's involvement in writing and preaching intensified, his business and family affairs dwindled. He felt that a particular verse spoken by Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam applied to him. "When I feel especially merciful toward someone, I gradually take away all his material possessions." Abhay understood that once poverty stricken, friends and relatives reject the most wretched fellow, leaving only Krishna. When Abhay's business in Allahabad failed, he tried to open a factory in Lucknow. At first it appeared profitable, but eventually he lost money and the factory had to be closed. When a hospital customer in the city of Jhansi invited Abhay to lecture at the Gita Mandir, he gladly accepted. His lecture was well received by the Jhansi audience, which was made up largely by young medical students and professionals. Abhay was a visionary and an ambitious person. He felt the need for the association of devotees propagating the teachings and practices of Krishna consciousness worldwide. Leaving his Allahabad affairs at the hands of his son, he tried to create a spiritual movement in Jhansi. So Prabhupada moved to Jhansi. Abhay was 56. And he thought he must now begin very seriously manifesting the orders of his spiritual master. Although he had only 1 or 2 active helpers, he obtained the use of an abandoned buildings and began working toward establishing a preaching center. He wrote a charter and legally registered his movement as the League of Devotees. However, he had to desert his buildings when the governor's wife insisted that it be used for a ladies' club instead. Without a place to stay and with no strong support, he left Jhansi. Abhay was ready to travel anywhere if he could fulfill Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's order to preach in English. In India, the English-speaking populations were small, so Abhay dreamed of going to the West. A conviction was growing within him that he should preach outside India. Informally, he had expressed it hundreds of times to acquaintances. He had woven his dream throughout his writings. If he could travel to Bombay, Delhi and Kanpur, why not to London or New York, where millions spoke English and had never heard the message of Lord Chaitanya? His wife and relatives were not interested in his preaching, but wanted him to spend more time in business and family affairs. Srila Prabhupada, she was very attached to drinking tea, his wife, okay? I was always telling her not to drink tea because I wanted to have a nice Vaishnava family. So I was repeatedly telling her. This time I finally said, you have to choose between me or tea. Either the tea goes or I go. In this way, I was even criticizing my own family. But because they were thinking I was the husband or father, they could not take my instructions seriously. So she replied, give up tea drinking or give up my husband. Well, I'll have to give up my husband. Then of course she thought I was joking. One day Radharani made a great mistake. There was a system of barter in which a customer would place on a scale an object of shopkeeper considered valuable, and the shopkeeper would then balance it with an equal weight of the merchandise. So while Abhay was out, his wife took his worshipable Bhagavatam to the market and traded it for tea biscuits. When Abhay came home and looked for the book, she told him that what had happened. She had not taken the matter as a very serious thing as she was out of tea biscuits, but Abhay was shocked with the situation. At first he felt depressed, but then a wave of absolute resolutions passed over him and eventually his family life was finished. When he told them he was leaving, they did not understand what he meant. He had been traveling for 30 years and was always coming and going. When he walked out the door, they thought, there he goes again, he is leaving. Even the neighbors thought he would come back, but Abhay knew he would never come back. Srila Madhavendra Puri, let the sharp moralist accuse me of being illusion, I do not mind. Experts in Vedic activities may slander me as being misled. Friends and relatives may call me frustrated. My brothers may call me a fool. The wealthy Maimonides may point me out as a mad. And the learned philosopher may assert that I am too much proud. Still my mind does not budge an inch from the determinations to serve the lotus feet of Govinda, though I am unable to do it. Having left his house and unable to find suitable shelter in his ashram of his god brothers, Abhay began staying in various homes in Delhi from week to week. How much painful journey. Upon the householder's request, in terms of food, clothing and shelter, these are the most difficult times he had ever gone through. Since childhood, there had always been an abundant amount of food, good clothes, and no question of where he would live. He had been the pet child of his father, and he had received special guidance and affection from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Now Abhay felt alone in his material world. Still, his spirit to fulfill the order of his Guru Maharaj to print books and the vision of a world movement kept leading him on. Lacking money to buy even proper clothes, Abhay went through the chilly Delhi winter to visit Surendra Kumar Jain, the printer, to read the latest proofs. By walking he saved money. Only when he was delivering paper from the paper dealer to the printer would he rent a rickshaw. He had no chadar, only a lightweight cotton jacket. And he wore rubber shoes. He also wore a cotton hat that covered his ears and tied beneath his chin, protecting him from the 40-degree wintry mornings and the sometimes gusty winds. Kumar Jain, my first impression was that he was a nice person and straightforward. I felt pity also because of the conditions under which he would come. I know he did not have even 25 paisa. He would come all the way on foot and without any breakfast or anything, he would come in the morning in the press, to the press. And when I would ask him, Swamiji, did you have anything to eat this morning? He would say, oh no, Mr. Jain, I just came because I had to see these proofs. That's all right. I would say, I'll get breakfast for you. I would call for breakfast and then he would sit and work. He would do the proofreading himself. The printing was done by me, and most of the time he would like to be present when that final printing was also being done. He would come in the morning around 7 and stay until he had seen all the proofs. It was a regular thing that he would come without breakfast. I would arrange for breakfast and he would sit across the table from one another for hours together. He was always talking on religious subjects, but when he would be sitting, especially when waiting for the proofs to come, he would discuss many things. He was more a friend than just a person coming to get things printed. His financial condition was very, very weak. Sometimes the printing would be difficult because he was not able to arrange for the paper. Many times I told him that he was feeling difficulty. Why was he continuing? But he said, no, it is my mission and I will always carry it on as far as possible. I tried to accommodate him to the maximum possible extent, but he was a real pauper. I've got the clue of going back to Godhead just after leaving my present material body, and in order to take along with me all my contemporary men and women of the world, I have started my paper, Back to Godhead, as one of the means to the way. Please do not think of me something wonderful of a madman when I say that I shall go to back to Godhead after leaving my present material body. It is quite possible for everyone and all of us. From a letter to India's President, Mr. Rajendra Prasad, Srila Prabhupada says, I worked for Back to Godhead day and night. In the beginning, when I was a householder, I did not care if somebody paid or not paid. I used to distribute liberally. But when I left my household life and I was living alone, sometimes in Vrindavan and sometimes in Delhi or sometimes traveling for pushing on Back to Godhead, they were very hard days. Very, very hard days. For a long time, Abhay had wanted to take shelter in Vrindavan, and now he found residence in Bansi Gopalji temple. His purpose remained the same. He would write Back to Godhead and deliver it to the printer in New Delhi. He would take the morning train into Delhi and, having nowhere to stay, return to Vrindavan the same night. Vrindavan, Mathura, just imagine how much she has suffered. Thus, Abhaya, with the 2 dhotis and kurtas, the Gaudiya Sangha had supplied him with his ability to preach and convince, but with little support, continued his preaching undaunted. Through all his tireless evangelism, he maintained a happy mood. In one sense, he was afraid, fully satisfied. He was happy to be working on behalf of his spiritual master. Abhay Charan Arvinda wrote a newspaper and for a home study course. Educational study, the spiritual secret of Bhagavad Gita at home by correspondence and by a strong man. Full course fee 50 rupees only. The instruction is imparted not in the ordinary imaginative way of qualified interpretations, but in the parampara system of preceptorial succession. All questions are properly solved. Apply AC Bhakti Vedanta. Students of all communities and nationalities are welcome. One night, Abhay had a striking dream. The same dream he had several times before. During his days as a householder, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appeared just as Abhay had known him, the tall, scholarly sannyasi coming directly from the spiritual world, from Krishna's personal entourage. He repeatedly urged Abhay to take sannyas through his dreams. Abhay awoke in a state of wonder and he thought of the original mission of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had given him. The instruction given by his spiritual master during their first meeting in Kolkata and clearly solidified in a letter to become an English preacher and spread Krishna consciousness throughout the Western world. Last paragraph, okay? So Prabhupada says, I wanted to remain as a Grihastha and priest, but Guru Maharaj did not like this idea. I could understand. Sometime I was dreaming that he was calling me and I was horrified that I will have to go away from home. So at last it happened so that I left my home in 1950 and became a Ganaprastha. I was living sometimes here and there. In 1959, I took sannyas. He left home in 50. In 1959 he took sannyas. But back to Godhead was going on. I was sitting alone in Vrindavan, writing my god brother, insisted to me, Bhaktivedanta, Prabhu, you must do it. Without accepting the renounced order of life, nobody can become a preacher. So insisted, not he insisted, practically my spiritual master insisted. He wanted me to become a preacher. So he forced me through his god brothers. You accept. So unwillingly, I accepted. Sometimes people take initiation unwillingly, also very little bit hesitant or not, but they take it. After a formal sannyas ceremony in Vrindavan in September 17, 1959, remember the date. Which date? September 17, 1959. Abhay's name became Abhay Charanar Binda Bhaktivedanta Swami. He became Swami in 1959. He doesn't have money. No money to go. He was not even having breakfast. Chappal phat gaya. He was traveling all the places. Bhaktivedanta Swami returned to Delhi with a new purpose. The paper and printing capital of India was in the Chandni Chowk section of Old Delhi, and he thought it was best to somehow locate himself there to regularly negotiate for printing books. Through an old printing contact, he met a temple owner who gave him a free room in the Radhakrishna temple near Chandni Chowk. The neighborhood was called Chapiwada, a congested mixed Hindu-Muslim quarter. Now Bhaktivedanta Swami could work either in Vrindavan or Delhi. With new enthusiasm, he picked up a few donations and began again publishing Back to Godhead. And at the same time, he began his translation and commentary of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada ki, Jagadu Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita ki, Gaur Premanande. Page 66, next time we'll read. Okay? Hari Bol. Prabhuji can read the Kirtan.
HG Balimardana Prabhu ki. It's very necessary.
Yes, very good. Thank you. You hear Prabhupada's story, so it will remain in your heart for years. Isn't it? You like it? Everybody liked it? Say Hari Bol. Thank you. So please do Kirtan, Prabhuji. श्रीमन महाप्रभु की, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत वैष्णव भक्ति वेदांत समय जगत प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। नित्यलीला प्रविष्ट अष्टोत्तर शतश्ल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर सरस्वती गुरुभक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण को गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन के जय। वृंदावन धाम मथुरा धाम के जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम के जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम के जय। गंगा मई जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hari Hari Bol. Gaur Premanandi. Can sing nursing prayer? Come.
Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Prahlada Ladadaine, Prahlada Ladadaine, Hiranyakashipurvakshaha, Hiranyakashipurvakshaha, Shilatankanakalaye, Shilatanakalaye, Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha, Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha, Yato Yami Tato Narsimha, Bahir Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha, Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha, Narasimha Balim Sharanam Prapade, Narasim Sharanam Prapade, Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Singham, Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Avakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Singham, Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Sita Narahari Rupa, Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev, नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय भक्त प्रह्लाद जय भक्त प्रह्लाद जय भक्त प्रह्लाद जय भक्त प्रह्लाद भक्त प्रह्लाद जय भक्त प्रह्लाद जय भक्त प्रह्लाद जय भक्त प्रह्लाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, भक्त प्रह्लाद की।
So we'll have prasadam, please carry on. महाप्रसादे गोविंदे नमो ब्राह्मणे वैष्णवे स्वल्प पुण्यवतं राजन् विश्वासनैव जायते शरीरा विद्या जाल जोदेन्द्रिय ताहे काल जीवे फेले विषय सागरे तार मध्य जिभाति लोभ माया सुदुर्मति ताके जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बड़ दयामय करिबारे जिह्वा जाय सप्रसादन्न दिलो भाई सही अन्नामृत पाओ श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेम डाको श्री चैतन्य निताई जय निमाय जय निताई जय जय श्री श्री महाप्रसादम की गौरवानंदे.
Success or failure as you like. 12 years later, Hare Krishna was a household word. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada had been more than successful. He had founded the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, a worldwide confederation of over 100 ashrams, schools, temples, and farm communities, and had made the chanting of Hare Krishna familiar to millions of people. He had written and published over 80 volumes of translation and commentary on self-realization, which are now standard in universities and libraries around the world, and he had gathered about him thousands of dedicated disciples. Srila Prabhupada became known to the world as a scholar, philosopher, social critic, and spiritual leader. But to his disciples, Srila Prabhupada was dearmost friend, father, and inner guide. The importance of the spiritual master to his disciples cannot be overstated. It is said that only by the mercy of the spiritual master can one receive the benediction of Krishna, and without the grace of the spiritual master, one cannot make any spiritual advancement. So the disciple's entire life focuses on the spiritual master and his instructions. In this relationship, the activities of the spiritual master are of monumental importance to his devotees. A disciple finds meaning even in the smallest gesture. Wherever he traveled, Srila Prabhupada would emerge daily into the chill and quiet of the early morning, and cloaked in a warm wrap, he would take a lengthy stroll with an entourage of students, disciples, and guests. Some mornings would find Srila Prabhupada immersed in contemplation or quiet appreciation of natural scenery. At other times, Srila Prabhupada would speak at great length and often with considerable intensity on various subjects. During these animated discourses, Srila Prabhupada would turn the profound Vedic philosophy into a practical cutting edge that penetrated every sphere of life and thought. The word acharya means one who teaches by example, and the following unedited footage provides an intimate glimpse into the exemplary life of Srila Prabhupada. To most people, the daily activities of a spiritual master are a mystery, and it is interesting to see how such an important historical figure conducted his everyday affairs. What emerges is an endearing portrait of an authentic spiritual personality.
Is that escaping? Or it is intelligence? That you work hard and give it to me, you enjoy. This is intelligence. This is not escaping. That is going on. The capitalists, they are engaging these rascals, asses, in the factory, and he is enjoying life. So that is intelligence. They let these rascals work hard and make a nice park for us, and we shall take advantage of it. This is intelligence. And it is called Ajagar Vritti. Ajagar Vritti, Ajagar means the big snake is called Ajagar. So these mouse, they make hole and want to live there. And the comfortable living, in the meantime the Ajagar comes, he eats that mouse and lives comfortably. Our is Ajagar Vritti. You work for the whole to live comfortably, but we take possession of the house and live comfortably.
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन जमुना तीर बनचारी जमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीर बनचारी यमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी Jai Amasvat Paramangsa Paribrajagacharya Sattare Sarasmadhati Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai Ananta Kodi Vaishnavindra ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Mokh Gopinath Sam Khand Radha Khand Giri Vardhan ki Jai Vrindavan Dham ki Jai Navadvip Dham ki Jai Ganga Mai की जाए जमुना माई की जाए गुरु द्वारका धाम की जाए स्वामी तो भक्तविंद की जाए ऑल ग्लोरी टू जसमीन ऑल ग्लोरी टू जसमीन थैंक यू वेरी मच ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय This is a conversation between Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami. Maharaj Parikshit, 5,000 years ago, he was the emperor of the whole world. Formerly, up to 5,000 years ago, the whole world was being controlled and ruled over by kings whose capital was Hastinapur, New Delhi. There was only one flag, only one ruler, one scripture, Vedic scripture, and the Aryans, the Arya, they were the civilized persons. You, Europeans, Americans, you are also Aryans, Indo-European stock. Maharaj Tejasi, grandson of Maharaj Parikshit, he gave to his two sons the portion of Eastern Europe, Greek and Roman. That is the history. Mahabharata. Mahabharata means great India. So, there was no different religion, one religion, Vedic religion. Vedic religion means to accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the Supreme Personal Absolute Truth. This is Vedic religion. Those who have read Bhagavad Gita, it is said there in the 15th chapter, Vedaishta sarvai ahamiva vedyam. Vedic knowledge means to understand God. This is Vedic. Later on, with the progress of Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga means the dark age or the sinful age, or the age for argument, unnecessary talks and fight. This is called Kali Yuga. That is going on. Since the last 5,000 years, the Kali Yuga has begun, and the beginning of Kali Yuga was cow slaughtering. So, at the present moment, practically there is no Brahmin, no Kshatriya, no Vaishya, only Shudras, fourth class men. So you cannot expect any happiness guided by the fourth class men. That is not possible. Therefore, throughout the whole world, there is chaotic condition. Nobody is happy. So, this is essential that the human society must be divided into 4 divisions. The Brahmin class means the first class ideal man, so that by the seeing their character, their behavior, others will try to follow. Jajjad acharati shrestha. So this Krishna consciousness movement means we are trying to create some first class man. This is Krishna consciousness, this movement. So, therefore, we have got these rules and regulations. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling. This is the preliminary qualification of a first class man.
Prabhupada, on our tape recorder here that we have, we can make it so you can play nicely, and then later on at our own time we will take to play the Madanga and Kartals nicely. This way we won't waste any of your time. Do you think that's a good idea? See, we can, after you are gone, at our own time, we can play nicely. Do you think that is a good idea or not?
I do not know.
We think it will.
I am not an expert.
Well, if we can't get someone to play drum
we would like to do that.
You want to try?
We would like to do it like that, Prabhupada.
Let's do that.
No, if we
Yes.
get to
Gudange to tutti pada. Just try. My father wanted me to become like this. Know everything, what is going on. He never wanted me to be a worldly man, earning money. He never wanted. There was some arrangement for my going to England after my college education to become barrister. My father refused. No, my son is not going to be a mleccha. So, past, present, future, you exist. The body changes. Is it not clear?
That's clear.
Yeah. So therefore, the conclusion that when he will not have this body, he will have another body. You are sitting here, if you don't sit here, you go. That does not mean you are sitting, opportunity is lost. You are sitting here, you sit somewhere. Similarly, the change of body is going on. Therefore, the conclusion is that after you give up this body, you will have another body, as you have already done. What is the difficulty to understand?
The seeming difficulty is that while the body is different from that of a boy,
Different body must be different, therefore that is called change of body. Unless it is a different body, where is the change?
the memory is there of the boy, or the spirit is there.
The memory, sometimes we may not remember, just like this child, he may not have memory when he was very small, but you have got memory. You know, when he was a small child, you are doing something, or you was playing with some cats and dogs, but he does not remember that. But you remember it. So, simply because he has forgotten, does that mean that the incidences were not present? So this argument is not very strong because I cannot remember. You do not remember so many things. But the fact is this, that you are changing from this body to this body to this body. Therefore the conclusion should be, that after this body I will accept another body. And that's the fact. As you have accepted in this life from one body to another body, there is a process how to accept it. Similarly, under the same process, you accept another body when this body is no longer useful. Just like at night, you give up this body, you take your subtle body and you go to somewhere. You are sleeping in your room, but you are working in a different place. Don't you do that? So, because this body is still useful, therefore you come to back again this body, and in the morning you wake up with this body. So death means when this body is useless, you do not come to this body, you accept another body. This is called death. That subtle body takes you from this body to the womb of another mother by nature's direction, that this soul shall get this kind of body. So the soul is entered in the womb of another mother's body, and then the body is prepared by the mother's blood and flesh, and when the body is sufficiently capable of working itself, then it comes again and begins its work. This is birth and death. The soul is eternal. Therefore, a sober man should think, why should I change my body? Why this trouble I shall take? That is human sense. If I am eternal, why not my eternal body? Eternal existence, why shall I die? This is human sense. Unless one comes to this understanding, he is animal. Because animal, by nature's law, is going on. He does not know. Then a human form of body, when he understands that I will have to change this body, I will have to get another body, then the question is, what kind of body I shall get? That is human intelligence. By nature's way, we are getting body, but that is on the selection of the nature according to my work. If I work like animal, I get animal body. If I work as demigod, I get demigod body. If I act as trees, then you get tree body. If you acted like dog, you get dog's body. Nature's way. Therefore you find so many varieties of body.
This philosophy does not appeal. Naturally, I want to love. It is not unnatural. When that love is reposed to Krishna, that is what it is. The Mahavadi, they are frustrated. They want to make this love into judo. They cannot understand Krishna's love with gopis. They think it is another edition of this material. How are you? Are you good, Prabhu? How are you? You look better. You are looking better, brighter. When I saw you leaving last week. We have got so much talent for serving Krishna. Everyone has got that I am speaking. We are good tonight. So that modern man can understand. Otherwise, we are repeating same thing. They are repeating also same thing. Sense gratification. Punah charvita charvanana. But because that is material, they are not getting happiness. But the spiritual thing, we are chanting the same Hare Krishna, simply, repeating, but we are getting transcendental bliss. What we are doing? Same Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, process is the same, the subject matter is different. So why you are behind publication? Now all the big men are here. Why our books are behind? So if we wait for another birth, maybe we may not get even Bharat Maharaj. He also slipped, he became a deer. So we should always be vigilant. We have got this opportunity, human form of life. Let us utilize it to the fullest extent and be fit for going back to home. That is intelligence. Not that all life, I suggest, again chance next month. That is not very good policy. Turnam. Turnam means very hastily finish. Turnam yaseta anamuktu paseta yavat. Then these people are wasting time. They are discerning some sound, thinking that this sound will say, this is my foolishness, mura. Ask them that why you are sounding so loudly, chant Hare Krishna. They laugh.
What did Bhaktivinoda Thakur mean when he said, "I'm going my work unfinished"? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur stated that he was leaving this planet with his work unfinished.
Let us finish. We are descendants of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. we kept unfinished so that we shall get the chance to finish it. That is his mercy. He could have finished immediately. He's Vaishnava, he's all powerful.
Taraya karuna ghana ghanatyam prapta sakalana gunana vasha bande gurasi charanarabindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Baditram Sangsara Davanandalira Loka Taraya Karuna.
In 1965, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, a Vedic scholar and holy man in the renounced order of life, left India for America to transform a bold vision into a historical reality of global dimension. To fulfill the desire of generations of Indian saints who wished to see India's timeless spiritual culture benefit the entire world, Srila Prabhupada left India and sailed to the United States. When he arrived by freighter, he was practically penniless, but after nearly a year of struggle, he established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in July of 1966. In the years that followed, the society grew rapidly, and Hare Krishna became familiar to millions of people. Srila Prabhupada became the focal point for the public's interest in the Hare Krishna movement, but he was never too busy to carefully answer any question. And, with each and every encounter, he would open the doors to the ancient philosophical and spiritual knowledge of India. An acharya is one who teaches by example. By his personal example, Srila Prabhupada demonstrated that the soul, the self, is naturally eternal, full of knowledge, and full of transcendental bliss. When a living being is awakened to his original constitutional position of Krishna consciousness, he becomes filled with sublime, exalted spiritual emotions that have no material counterpart. As a great self-realized and God-conscious saint, Srila Prabhupada often exhibited the spiritual happiness that Krishna describes in the Bhagavad Gita. That sacred and ancient fountainhead of wisdom has this to say about the final state of human perfection. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness and enjoys himself through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he knows there is no greater gain.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You founded the Hare Krishna movement some 7 years ago in 1967, did you not?
Yes.
In a capsule, what is the movement?
The movement is to awaken God consciousness of the human being. The human being is distinguished from the animals, that the animals cannot understand what is God. And if the human being also does not understand what is God, then he is enemy.
I see. And so your movement is to bring about an understanding of God
Yes.
among human beings.
Yes.
And Hare Krishna means what?
Hare Krishna means addressing the energy of God. Hare means the energy of God, and Krishna means God.
Okay, you were here yesterday and to attend your annual festival that was held here in Golden Gate Park, and we were there too. And in fact, here it is. A few thousand people came out to hear it. How many people are now disciples of the Krishna consciousness movement?
Dedicated life, about 10,000.
About 10,000 dedicated
in
ones.
the Western world.
Your Grace, is there any significance at all in the shaved head? Why are heads shaved?
We keep ourselves very clean, that's all.
Oh, it's just a cleanliness thing?
Yes.
Is there any significance in the color of the robes?
At least at the present moment, people think that by keeping long hair, it becomes very beautiful.
I see.
Yes. So we are against that.
Just as simple as that. Is there any significance in the yellow robes?
Yellow robe is the dress, those who are dedicated.
It could very well have been a blue robe. It's just something that was arrived at.
This saffron.
Your Grace, why do you feel that so many people are pulling away from the traditional religions in this country, such as Christianity and so forth, and going for the trying to understand the Eastern religions? We hear a lot of swamis and gurus and other type of yogi and so forth. Why do you feel that people are pulling away from the traditional Christian standards here?
But we see that the Christian churches, especially I've seen in London, mostly closed. People are not interested, or the Christian leaders, they cannot make them interested.
Why? Did Christianity fail the people, which is why they're turning to other things? Or?
I think so.
You say that Hare Krishna consciousness pretty much takes the absolute truths from the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, and the Vedic.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Religion means to understand God.
I understand, but do you feel that in getting truths from various places like the Bible and the Quran and so forth, don't you run into conflicts at all or contradictions in those particular philosophies?
No, I don't find any conflict, because the ultimate goal is God. So you have to understand God and try to love Him. So you can go through any religious process. If the goal is attained, that you understand what is goal, and you try to love Him, then your life is perfect.
Why do we see so many of your followers chanting almost all the time?
Chanting means to keep association with God always.
So you have to audibly chant Hare Krishna?
Yes. This is transcendental vibration. Just like a radio message, if you keep contact with the radio message, then you know everything what is going on outside. Similarly, this transcendental sound, Hare Krishna, if you chant, then you keep connection with God directly.
Thank you very much, Your Divine Grace. It's been our privilege to talk with you and to meet you.
Thank you.
And hope that we can see you again when you return.
Hare Krishna.
We'll be back with more news in just a moment.
Daiva tripting bhajata sadaiva. Daiva tripting bhajata sadaiva. Vande gurasi charanarabindam. Vande gurasi charanarabindam.
Very much happy, because these American boys are helping. It is due to their cooperation the movement is spread all over the world.
Where will you go from here?
In America? What is the date I entered? In Hawaii?
She's asking where you will go after Dallas.
Where will you visit?
Oh, from Dallas I will go to New Virginia.
West Virginia.
West Virginia?
From there I shall go to London.
Are you pleased with the Krishna movement in the United States? Do you think it's growing?
What do you think?
I think it is. And this pleases you.
It is growing very fast.
Do you
Not
think...
only growing, but growing very fast. And the flowers of your country, the young generation, they are taking it very seriously. These boys, these girls, they are taking it very seriously.
Do you think that the children you see here will carry on?
We are creating another generation, Krishna conscious. So it will continue.
What does Krishna offer that some of the other religious beliefs of the world?
Krishna is God. So other religion who follow God consciousness, so there is no difference. It may be different some name, but religion means God consciousness. Without God consciousness, there is no religion.
And what does worshiping in your way, is it any better than worshiping in another way? Is it a more direct contact with Krishna?
Well, every way is nice, provided the followers are nice. Unfortunately, the principles are not followed. Just like in Christian religion, it is said, thou shalt not kill. But killing is very good thing here in the Christian world. Killing simply. So many slaughterhouses. That is not Christian religion. But followers, they do not follow the rules and regulations. That is regulated. Otherwise, it is very nice. Our also principle is no meat eating. That means there is no killing of animals. Every religion says like that, but the followers do not follow.
The Krishna religion teaches that women are to be subservient to men always. Why?
The Krishna religion teaches that women should be subservient, should be subordinate to men. He's asking why.
Well, not should be, they are, by nature. What do you think, your position?
I don't believe in that, of course. I disagree.
But if voluntarily become subservient to a man, that is the nature.
Does that make them less of a being?
They are seeking to become subservient, attracting man. Take me as subservient. That is natural. Even psychologically, it is analyzed that the brain of man is up, they have seen up to 64 ounces, whereas the brain of woman, they have not found more than 36 ounces.
But women live longer than men.
Huh?
Women live longer than men.
Not necessarily.
So
yes,
got you.
Sometimes it is. My grandmother lived about 100 years. My mom. So sometimes it happens.
Let's see, now
it is not restricted amongst women. There are men also.
How old is the movement?
Well, from historical point of view, it is about 5,000 years old.
Why has it just begun to really catch on in the Western world? I mean, just recently, in recent years, has it begun to sweep the Western world? Why is this?
The Western people are seeking something like that. So as soon as they got it, they captured it. The Western world, the younger generation were being frustrated, the hippie movement. So when they saw something tangible, they accepted it.
What things would, if everyone in the United States believed in Krishna to the extent that you do, what would happen to this country? How would it be transformed?
They'll be very happy and peaceful. There will be no more hippies.
What would you describe as a hippie? Someone who smokes.
You know better than me. Something extraordinary.
Do you feel like that? How do you respond to this? How should people who follow your your beliefs? How should they respond to other people who are criticizing them and for the way that they?
This criticism, you criticize me, I criticize you. That is going on. Even there is no change of dress. It is man's nature to become envious, to criticize others. That is material nature.
So you think that they're envious because they're criticizing?
Yes.
Because of the happiness that the people have?
Certainly. Sometimes they inquire, are you Americans? Because they never saw Americans so peaceful. And in the priests also, they very much appreciate. In Melbourne, the Bishop of Melbourne and the head of the Scottish Church and many church people, they very much appreciated, invited me and talked. And in a society of that, San Francis, there were hundreds of fathers. The meeting was attended. I spoke for 1 hour, and they very much appreciated. I applauded for 10 minutes, and they accepted. And Reverend Powell here, he gave declaration that we have no alarm from the Krishna movement.
Do you, this is your 3rd visit to Dallas, is that correct?
I think 3 or 4. Third.
Why was Dallas selected as the point to establish the school? I believe this is the first school, isn't it, in the United States to be established? Why was Dallas particularly chosen for the school?
Krishna's choice.
Krishna's choice. He chose Dallas.
Yes, we got a nice house, and we accepted it. So it was Krishna's choice.
Where does the Krishna National or the International Krishna Organization get its funds? From simply donations? They've been criticized occasionally for being very wealthy.
Yeah, that is our reputation. Even in Indian Parliament, this question was raised. So these Hare Krishna people, fabulously rich, where they get money? Somebody suspected that we are getting bribes from American government. What is that, CIA? So if you are theologians, then you must know what is God and abide by God. What do you think, Dr. Judah?
Pardon?
What do you think, this proposition?
Yes, well, I think you're quite right. I think that it is certainly in our day and age, many of us don't really know God.
Then he's not theologist. He's theosophist.
We know about God, but we do not know God. I would agree.
That is theosophy. Theosophy is they're thinking there is something superior. But who is that superior? They're searching. The same thing. A boy, he knows I have a father. But who is my father? I don't know. And that you have to ask his father. Alone he cannot understand. So our proposition is that if you do not know God, and here is God, Krishna, why don't you accept it? You do not know, first of all. And if I present here is God, then why don't you accept it? What is the answer? We are presenting God, here is God. And big acharyas have accepted. Ramanucharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, Lord Chaitanya, in our disciplic succession, my Guru Maharaj, and I am preaching, he is God. I am not presenting a God whimsical. I am presenting a God who is recognized. So why don't you accept? What is the difficulty?
I suppose one of the difficulties for certainly many in the older generation is that we follow certain patterns of life, and
And we are not serious about God.
and it is difficult to change. This is the great problem.
Therefore Krishna said, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sat. You have to give up. If you are not prepared to give up, then you cannot accept God.
I think you're being a little unfair to Dr. Crossley. I think what you say is true, that it's the most important thing we can do is to seek and know God. But I don't think it's right to say that it's a bad thing to study how other people or how man
I don't
has...
say bad thing.
Yeah.
I say if you are serious about God, now here is God.
That's what a university in part is for, to study about how people have thought on different matters.
I would say if you are seeking after something, if you get that something, why don't you accept?
Do you believe that Christ said that Krishna was his father?
The name may be different.
Hare Krishna.
In our country,
Online viewers here at ISP, thank you very much for watching the ISB movie night at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. I do appreciate for staying with us tonight and enjoying the Prabhupada's movie. Thank you very much, and keep watching Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday at ISB. Thank you very much. Good night.
We may give him different
Hare
names.
Krishna.
That is different.